Hey guys, in this video we're going to continue to build our food delivery application. This time we will add an order details page. We will also add the ability to mark a delivery as shipped. So let's get started with this by updating our order model to include an is shipped field. So we'll jump into our text editor, and then we will go ahead and go to our customer models file right here. And then in our order model, we're going to add one more field to this. So let's add an is_shipped. This will be equal to models.boolean field with a default equaling to false. So when we create an order, the is shipped will be set as false until we go ahead and go in and mark it as true later on in the order details page. Go ahead and save that change. Let's go ahead and migrate those changes to our database. So open up a terminal. I'll stop the server. I'll type Python manage.py make migrations, and then I'll do Python manage.py migrate. Go ahead and run the server again. And now with that change made, let's go ahead and add a view for our order page. So I'll go into our restaurant directory. So I'll close out this here. Go to our restaurants and go into our views.py right here. Now below our dashboard, let's create another class, and we'll call this just order details. And then we want to go ahead and pass in the same mixins we used before. We still only want this page to be visible to users who are logged in and logged into a staff account. So once again, I'll do login required mixin, and then user passes test mixin, and then as well as our generic view class. And then we need a get method, which will pass in self request. We're passing the PK because each page will be different based on the order that's selected, and then star args and star quargs. And then we'll also need to put in our test function that we had up here. I'm going to copy it right here because it's going to be the exact same for both of these classes. Come down here and paste that right there. And so it will return true if the user has the staff group on their account. And now for this get method, we're going ahead and first we want to get the actual order from our database. So we'll do order equals order model dot objects dot get, and then pk equals pk, just like we've done before. And then below that, we'll create a context variable, and then within this context variable, I want to pass in order colon order, just to pass the order into our template. And then I'm going to go ahead and return render our template. So we'll do return render. We'll pass the request, and then we'll do restaurant / order -details.html, and then context. We'll go ahead and save that. Now let's go ahead and create this order -details template. So within our restaurant application, go to our templates, restaurant, and then in here we'll create a new file, and we'll call it order-details.html. Make sure it matches what we pass into our render function there. Now this template is going to be fairly simple. We're going to go ahead first extend our base template. So we'll do extends restaurant / base.html, and then down here we're going to go ahead and create a content block. So we'll do block content, and then below here we will do in block content. Now within the side of this content block, we're going to create a container. So we'll do a div class equals container, and we'll close off that div. And now within here we're going to create a row. So we'll do div class row, justify content center. And then with inside of this row, we're going to create a column. So do div class equaling column-md-6, column-sm-12, text dash center, and we'll add a little bit of margin to the top, do -3. And within this column, we're going to go ahead and just put an H1, and we'll put order ID, and then we can pass in our order ID, so we can do order.pk. We pass order into our context, so we can access that with just an order, and then our pk, which is .pk. Now go ahead and close off that tag, and then we're going to close off our column and close off our row. And now below this, we're going to go ahead and create another row. Do a row, justify content center. Create another column, -md-12, and then column -sm-12, margin top -5. Now within this column, we're going to put H3, and it's going to say customer information. And then we'll go ahead and close off that tag, close off our column, and close off our row. I'm going to go ahead and copy this now. We need one more of these rows here, and then I'm going to go ahead and delete this H3 right here, and then I'm going to change this. Oh, whoops, there's an error up here as well. This is SM twice. We'll do MD, and here MD as well. Then we're going to go ahead and change this 12 to 6. And now within this column, I'm going to put some of the customer information. So we'll do a p tag. We'll do a span style equaling font weight, and we'll do 400 just to make it a little thicker. A little bolder, I guess. And then we'll put name, colon, and we'll close off the span. And then outside the span, I'm going to put a space. I'm going to pass in the name on the order. So I'll do order.name. And then outside here, we're going to close off the p tag. Now I'm going to go ahead and copy this. I'm going to do the same thing for the email and the address information. So I'm going to copy it a bunch of times. And then I'm going to change name here to email. I'm going to change order.name to order.email. And then before I go to the next p tag, I'm going to put an H5 right here. So we'll do an H5 tag with a class of Python top -3. And then here I'm going to put address information. Address information. And now these p tags below here are going to be the address the address information. So this to change this name here to street, and then it'll be order.street, and then we'll do next will be city, order.city, and then we'll have state, and we'll do order.state, and then finally we'll have zip code. So this will change to zip code. And it'll be order.zip_code. And we can go ahead and delete this last extra p tag here. And that's all for this column. And now inside of this same row here, but on a different column, I want to go ahead and make that column class equals column-md-6, column-sm-12. And now within this column here, I'm going to close it out. And then within inside this column, I'm going to go ahead and put some payment and shipping information. So first I'll put an H5 heading, and I'll just be payment and shipping information. And now below here, I'm going to go ahead and put a p tag, a class of margin top -3. And I'm going to put, within here, I want to put either a green check mark or a red X, depending on if the order has been paid or if it's not been paid yet. And so we can do that here with a if statement. So we can go ahead and do, get rid of this. Alright, go ahead and do our curly braces, 2% signs, and put if order.is_paid. So if order.is_paid is true, we want to go ahead and put a green check mark. So within here, we'll do a p tag, and then inside that p tag, we're going to put an I style equals, and then color green to make it a green check mark, and then we're going to put a class, and we got to pass in our font awesome classes to show the icon, which is FAS space FA-check, and then we can go ahead and close off the icon. We'll create a span tag to give this a style, a class of padding left -2, and this will just pull this text away from the check mark a little bit, and then we'll put order has been paid, and we'll close off the span and close off the paragraph. And now below this, we're going to go ahead and put an else. So if it's not been paid, we want to show something else instead. So, oops. So here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to actually go ahead and just copy this line because it's going to be very similar. So we'll copy this, and we'll paste it right there, and we'll put change order has been paid to order has not been paid. We want to change our icon here from a FAS FA-check to an FAS FA-times, make it like an X. And then with the color, we're going to change that as well, and we're going to change this just to a red. And now we can go ahead and close off the if tag, because we always like to close off the blocks when we use a templating engine in Django. So we'll come in here and do end if, and we can also close off this last paragraph tag up here. And now with that done, we want to go ahead and do this almost exact same thing, but for the is shipped. So what we want to do here is we're going to go ahead and copy this first part of this this if statement for the is shipped. So we'll come down here and we'll paste that right there. We'll do order is underscore shipped, and then once again here we'll show a green check mark that says order has been shipped. Now if it's not shipped, we want to show a button that allows the user to click the button and mark it as shipped. So in this else section down here, I'm going to go ahead and create a form, a method equaling post, and then inside this form I'm going to go ahead and add our CSRF token, CSRF underscore token. And now below this, I'm going to create my button. So I'm going to do button type equals submit class equals btn dash outline dash success, and then the text will be mark as shipped. We'll go and close off that tag, and now below this right here, we're going to go and close off our form, and then we'll close off this if else statement here with just our normal curly braces, 2% signs, end if. Now let's go ahead and save that, and let's go ahead and see how this page looks when we go to it. So let's jump into our admin page first, and we're going to create a couple orders. So I'll log in first, and then I'm going to go ahead and come to our order models, and I'm going to add a couple order models here. So add a price, whatever, pick some random items, we'll add that, we'll mark it as paid, and we'll save that. Now let's go ahead and view the site, go into our restaurant login. We're logged in, so it redirects us to the dashboard. You'll see here we have our order ID, and actually before we do this, I forgot to add the URL, so this won't work yet. So let's go ahead and add that real quick. So let's jump back into our restaurant URLs, and let's import our view we created. So order details, and let's create a path for this. So we'll do path. We'll do just int pk. Let's put orders first, just so we know what this is going to. Order slash the order pk, and then we'll pass in order details dot as underscore view name equals order dash details. Now let's go ahead and save that. Let's come back here, reload the page, and up here in our URL, let's go ahead and go to that URL. order slash, in this case, order ID is 17. So go 17. Oh, I gotta put restaurant as well, because that's in our restaurant URLs. So it'll be slash restaurant slash order 17. There we go. And so you'll see here we have our order ID up here. We have some information over here about the address and the name, email, and the order. We marked it as paid, so it shows up with a check mark, has been paid. And now if we click this button, right now it won't work. We'll get some error, but we need to add a post method to handle this and to mark the order as paid now, or marked it as shipped now, I mean. So back inside of our text editor, let's go back to our views.py. And in our order details, we need to add a post method. So we'll come here, we'll do def post, we'll pass in self, request, pk, star args, star quargs. Now within this post method, first we need to get the order model like we did before. So we do order equals order model dot objects dot get pk equals pk, and then we'll do order dot is shipped equals true to set that as true, and then we'll do order dot save to save the order in the database. In our context, we will go ahead and pass in the order, and then we're just going to go ahead and render the same template that we did before. So all I need to do here is come up and do return render. Let's pull this down some. Return render, request, and then restaurant slash order dash details.html. And then we'll pass in our context. So here, all you should see is when you hit the button, it should then update the order, and then it should show the checkmark and order has been shipped on the order details page. So let's reload the page. Now let's click the button, mark as shipped, and now you'll see order has been shipped. So now in our database, this has been checked that it's been shipped. So that's all working great. Our order details page is kind of simple right now, but it's all working very well. So now let's just update a couple extra things. You'll see over here the way we had to get to it was by typing it into the browser, but it would be better if we could like make a link over here or like an edit button or something, so the user can get to it from the actual dashboard itself. So I think I'll add a little edit button over here that when you click on it, it will take you to the details page. So to do that, let's go ahead and go into our dashboard.html, and let's add an extra column to our table. So I'll come into dashboard.html. We'll go ahead and make it, add the heading up here, and we'll just call it details. So we'll do th scope equals column, and then we'll do details, and we'll close off that header there, and we'll come down here to the bottom, right here below the is paid, within that same row, and we'll go ahead and add another TD, and this will have a link tag inside of it. So we'll do a href equals, and in quotes we'll put our Django URL syntax here, and we'll do URL, and we'll pass in the name, what we call our order details inside of our URLs. So over here we called it order dash details. So in this template here, we're going to go ahead and just put order dash details, and then outside of the quotes there, we want to pass in the primary key, and we can get that using order.pk, and then we can go ahead and close off the a tag. Inside the a tag, we're going to put a class, an icon in a class of far space fa-edit to show this little edit icon. We then go and close off the I tag, close off the A tag, and close off the table column there. And we'll go, or the table row, or cell, I guess. We'll go ahead and save that. Come back here, reload this page, and now you'll see details with this little edit button. We click on it. It now takes us to that same order details page as before. So that's all working great. The last thing you want to do is once we mark an order as shipped, we don't want to show up in this list on this table anymore. We only want these to be the orders from today that are not shipped. That way, once you mark it as shipped, it will be removed from this page. You can only see the ones that you still need to ship. And so that can be done pretty easily by editing our dashboard view class. So if we go back into that view class right here, you'll see right here we have a for loop. We loop through all the orders that have this filter on it, which is today's date, and we add up our price. Well, below this, we can also check if the order is not shipped. If it's not shipped, we'll add it to another list, and we'll add that list right here instead of all the orders. So only the orders that be passed in are the ones that are not shipped. Hopefully that makes sense here in a second. So right here on this comment, we're also going to check if order is not shipped, and then below here we're going to go ahead and create a variable. We'll call it unshipped underscore orders, and that equals square brackets. And now within this for loop, we're going to do an if statement to check if the order is not shipped. So we'll do if not order dot is underscore shipped, and we'll do unshipped orders dot append order. So all we're doing here is we're going through all of our orders, checking if the order is not shipped. If it's not, then we're adding it to this unshipped orders list. And now finally, we change this orders here to unshipped orders. So now the only orders in our template will be the ones that are not shipped. So to demonstrate this, if I reload the page now, all the orders go away here. If I go add another order, so I'll jump back into my admin page. Go to order models. Let's add 2 more orders. So I'll select some random things here. Let's just put like 45. Add a test there. We'll mark this one as is paid, and we'll save that. We'll add another order model. We'll just put like 32. We'll click there, and this one will not be as paid. So now we go back to our site, go back to our restaurant login. You'll see you have 2 orders. One's paid, one is not. Let's go to the one that is paid, and you'll click the details, and we'll mark it as shipped. It's marked as shipped. If we go back here, now that one goes away. And we can go do the same for this one. We can come up to it, we can mark it as shipped, and now it's gone. The reason I'm doing it this way is because you can see up here our total revenue and our orders still stay the same. We still have all 3 orders, and the price is still added up here. If we were to change our filter or something else, that would reset all of that, which we don't want to do. We want to keep that running total the same. So that's really it. That's all we're going to do in this video. The code will be in the description below, the starting and ending code like it usually is, the written tutorial, as well as everything else that's usually down there. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.